harmonizing with nature. With over 4 decades of changing lives, your self-discovery archaeologist, get ready to be the best of you with your host, Beverly Zimet.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Beverly Zimet Show, and this is a special edition and we've got a few of those this week. My guest is Cheryl Brenner, calling in from Fort Worth, Dallas, and she is with Powerteam International, and that's kind of what we want to talk about because there's a lot of excitement going on here in Denver, Colorado with the Powerteam and Bill Walsh and speakers galore. So Cheryl, share with us this event.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that's on, watching us on the event, and especially to you for hosting the event and inviting us to come out and share our information about our upcoming event, which is this Thursday, and we're very excited about it. It's September the 24th down at the Hyatt Denver Convention Center, and it's they're following all the safety measures, so we're just very excited to be able to get out, start back networking, being around colleagues, being around business associates, being able to say hi to people on the street, and still practice the social distancing, but starting to see movement again and going around in different cities is very exciting. So bravo to Denver for being one of the ones that's kept the safety measures in place so that it could be. The convention center is doing everything to make sure that they are complying with the state regulations. Of course, we will be doing temperature checks ourselves. When people come in, we have someone doing that. So everyone, we ask you just to bring your face mask. When you pack those business cards, pack your face mask and come out, and it's just a great day of networking and wonderful speakers that you wouldn't necessarily have the chance to get, and a lot of people are available because they are in a time difference because of what's happened with COVID. Their schedules have opened up, so there are a lot of people that aren't necessarily on the tour with us for every town. They're on with us for Denver. So again, we're very excited. Bill Walsh is the founder and CEO and with Powerteam International. His son, Austin Walsh, I should say, also is the co-founder, and they will both be in town. So there's just going to be a lot of things happening. If you want to get your business going, get on a fast track, get out of the chair, get off the sofa, get out of the backyard. You're tired of walking around and around and around the neighborhood. Come down to that convention center and come meet new people.
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you, I've been following Bill now, I think 4 or 5 years. It's been a long time. I've been to his Rainmaker program on numerous occasions. Amazing. You learn so much in these programs and what he has to offer, because he's just, I'll tell you, this is a man who actually comes from his heart, right? And I love being there with him because he's real people. He doesn't train people to just go out and do all his business for him, and go here and go there. He shows up. And that's what he talks about. Show up. If you want to be at the top, show up to be there, right? Be a product of your product, and Bill is definitely a product of his product. And I have learned so much from him just being in that audience. And he brings thousands of entrepreneurs together. If you're thinking about doing a business, if you're already in business and maybe it's not scaling the way you want it to, you want to be on international stages, that can happen, right? And Bill will take you there, right? That's the things that I have learned from him. And he's just, like I said, he comes from his heart. He's sincere. He doesn't talk trash. he talks real. And, that's kind of one of the background inspirations for this show that I wanted to do, because I wanted to really go out to the public in a different profession and make a difference and make an impact, because I was changing my business, and it was like one of these things. What can I do? Exposure, 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 right? And one of his keynote speakers, Angel Tussey, is all about what? That exposure and the PR. Yeah. And she, oh my gosh, I learned so much from her. And I first saw her when she was just getting started with Bill. I think it was either her second or third time being on his stage, right? And I met her in Chicago at that time. And wow, I'll tell you, she has just blossomed into an amazement.
Okay.
And she's right here in Denver too, so you guys are going to be able to see her, because I believe she's on the roster. And if she's not, she's going to be interacting, right? And for your PR work, this is where it needs to go. I'm also working an event, a virtual reality event that gets you interacted on the avatar world, right? And that is something that is going to take you to another world. So ask yourself, is your business virtual reality ready? And if it's not, then you know what? You need to get it ready, right? You really need to get it ready and make it an impact like it's supposed to be. And, so if you want to know more about that, text DBI hashtag for business to 888-527-7146. I'll leave that for a little bit. And now we're going to go back into the main show, where Bill is offering you things that can change your business. He will influence you in ways that you don't even know, just by being in that audience, because he gives away the farm and then some, right? So, Cheryl, how long have you known Bill? I know you've been with him for quite some time.
I've known him at least 20 years, and I think one of the things that's interesting that you mentioned about that he's real, and before you and I started the show a couple of minutes ago, we were talking about the format and how is it going to go,
right?
What were the questions going to be, different things like that. And I think we both said, we're fine with just doing it off the cuff. Let's just be us. Let's just be real. Right. And that was funny when you said that about Bill, because that's one of the things that I learned from Bill when I attended his Platinum Speaker Camp.
Oh, okay.
I learned that the best thing you can do is be you. Don't try to be someone else. When you're walking in integrity and you're transparent and you know your story and you have your story down, your story being your passion or your why, then you're going to always be real and you're going to always be prepared to speak to any group. And it's not going to make any difference, because your story's not going to be any different, because it's the truth. Right. And so that's one of the things about Bill and his son Austin, that talk about real. There is no BS with Austin, okay?
No, I tell you.
Is real, but Austin is a bit younger, and he he's going to tell you how it is. Stay if you want to learn. If you don't, go home.
Goodbye. Yeah.
And of course, that's what they say in Texas too. You stay or get home. Get off the ranch. But anyway, that's one of the things that I love so much about working with Powerteam and with Bill and Austin and the rest of the people that are my teammates. It's because you have to be transparent. You have to be real, so we can progress and so we can move forward. Because if we're all there pretending to be something we're not, first of all, you're going to always get found out. And who wants to be living a lie anyway? So it's great to work with someone that's really real, and also as important as that is humble and approachable.
Yes. Oh my
gosh.
Bill
is very, very approachable. He gives his cell phone number out to everyone that signs up for his Rainmaker program, his Platinum Speaker program. We have, 15 programs under our umbrella. And I mean, Bill, when he's on stage in front of Now, of course, our stages are smaller because we put on 350, 400 events a year. Our events are smaller due to the COVID situation. But, Bill's used to speaking in front of thousands of people, and he's calling out his cell phone number, and I'm sitting in the room just going, oh, my goodness, I can't believe he's doing that.
I know.
But he does it, and the interesting thing is that he returns the calls.
He
now,
does.
He's not good at, you don't leave him a voicemail, he'll tell you that. You send him a text. But he'll be in Malaysia, and he'll text you back. And he really does keep up with people's projects, where they're at, what they're doing, regardless of what program you go into with Powerteam, because we have many, many opportunities to make people become even more successful and to help us become more successful by adding to our teams. We want to make sure that we over deliver and under promise. And I think that's really what makes us such a big success.
Right. And you mentioned the Platinum Speaker, right? I just put this little link up here where people can text in the word Platinum, PLATINUM, to 26786 if they want to know more about the Platinum Speaker, and they will get you directly, right, where you will be contacted.
Right. They'll get an email acknowledgement, and then I will send them a text with my information and call them. And this is the Platinum Speaker program. It's really for someone who is serious about speaking for an income. You want to speak for, that's your passion, that's your why. It's not for the person that wants to learn how to speak better, to the Rotary Club. Right. We have another program that's called Icon that's great for people for that, they just want to hone up on their speaking skills, not to be afraid to get in front of people. The Platinum Speaker Camp is an intense camp, 4.5 days. You have to fill out an application. You have to be approved. We limit it to 20 people per class. And the reason for that is because we want to have the time to spend with everyone. Bill is the one that puts on this program. This is his baby. He's there. And you can't pay for his time like you're getting there. You get your media kit, your PR done, your video. We get you on a national stage. You're going to learn how to negotiate with hotels. It's just amazing. But you can find out all about that when we speak and we see, is that a fit for you? Because what's important for me is to always make sure that I give people what is for them, not what is for their buddy Mary or their buddy John. What is best for you? You, Beverly, what's going to help you become more successful, even more successful with what you're doing. That's where we come from. That's our lane, and we know to stay in that. And it's a really awesome place to be.
And it's a great program, and it is intense. Like I say, Bill is a no bull kind of guy, right? I'll tell you, when you are in a workshop with him, it's all right there. But he knows how to have fun. When the day is over and business is done, he says, okay, let's all go to dinner. Let's go find some music, right? So he's not just about business. He's about interacting, and he's a people person, right? How many times have you gone to classes or workshops where, the instructor's up there and they're just ding, 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 and then all of a sudden they disappear and you never to see him again. Bill is not that way. He is right there interacting with you because he's a people-to-people person. And I think that's one of the things that really caught my attention when I first met him and heard him speak in Las Vegas, right? And I followed him. For a whole year, I was going to Rainmakers. I think I did 4 Rainmakers in different parts of the country,
Wow.
Yeah. And each one of them, I learned something different.
Yeah. Well, you can, when you do Rainmaker, when you join Rainmaker, you can do as many Rainmakers within a year as you want. And also, prior to COVID, we were already online with Rainmaker. Right. So you could do it online even before you came to the class or when you went home, you could freshen up and remember things that you might have forgotten,
Right.
before. And when you talk about Bill and having fun, I mean, my goodness, his whole thing is about relationships. So he believes that business, and I'm not going to quote him exactly, but this is his philosophy, is that business is done and relationships are created, and that's what makes the business happen. That's where the contracts come into play. That's where you get that JV partner, or that's where you get that next speaking gig, or that's where thing that you're looking for in transition, or that person that you really needed to meet. That's because you sat down and you had a conversation with someone. You listened to them.
Right.
You heard their story, and then you knew, how can I serve you better? And that's what our philosophy is, and that comes again from the founders. How can we serve you?
What I found, attending these different events all over, in Chicago, in Denver, in California, in Las Vegas, right, all over, is the people that I met there have been long-term friends. I mean, not just a business acquaintance here or there. I'm talking about friends. Really close, bonded, knitted community. And that's what Bill is all about, is building this community. And I spoke a little bit about the virtual reality world, and what we're doing there. It's also building relationships. It's not about come in here and find out what you can sell and who's selling what. It's not about selling. It's about building these relationships. And again, that is something that I learned through attending Bill's events and through the Rainmaker, to take that section and really bring it into the Digital Business International, in the virtual reality world now, is the community we are building in virtual reality is no different than what we're doing out here in real life. The difference is you're immersed, you see it face to face. These little avatars are right there. You're talking to them as if you're talking to a person. It's not a Zoom like you're way over there and I'm way over here, and the environments are different. Your picture behind you is different than my picture, different from everybody else if you've got a massive Zoom going on. In the avatar world, everyone is immersed in the same place, whether it's like we're doing vendor events. So here's a room full of vendor tables.
Right.
Everybody is outside watching someone speak up there on an international stage. When you come into our events, you become immediately an international speaker when you stand on that stage, right? Because we are international. And so now you've got people out there watching you, all in avatar form, but your message is coming out. So if you're afraid to talk on the stage and you take the platinum speaker, it's going to help build confidence. I think Bill says something, the first 100 stages you're on is your learning. After that, now you're serious. So it doesn't matter where these stages are, but we have found in the virtual reality world, is because all inhibition is gone, because it's the avatar up there talking, and so that fear factor disappears. And people are giving performances for their first time speaking on an international stage and blowing it out of the water. Because all the inhibition, all their fears are gone, because it's their little avatar up there. So they're not worried about, is my makeup okay? Is my hair okay? Are my clothes okay? None of that happens, right? And so in a virtual reality event, the realness of the real world is there, and the interaction is there, and the relationships are built just like they're built here at all of Bill's small business expos. And this Global Elevation Success Summit is not anything different. There's also vendors there, people that are going to show you, hey, this is something that could be an asset to your business. One of them I remember I went to, Zoom was there, And I learned so much about Zoom, I had no clue that that is what that program could be used for. Has that helped me now in my business? Oh, heck yeah. So you're getting connections that you don't get anywhere, all in the same space, right? But these long-lasting relationships, I can list you off hundreds of names. And that's how we met, Cheryl.
Right.
And,
for sure.
And Michelle
For sure.
Finnegan, she's the one that called me and she says, "You're in Denver. Do you know anybody who does shows up there?" And I said, "Well, yeah." So here we are, right?
Hello.
Yeah, hello is right. So again, it's a who you know world. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And then everything just grows from there. So there are so many things. And until this conversation right here today, it didn't really dawn on me all the things that I put into perspective in how I'm running my virtual reality business that, like I just shared, has taken me back to what I learned in those Rainmaker classes and just listening to Bill, over and over. How do you learn your ABCs? It's that repetition. And Bill never says one thing one time and something different the next time. He is so right on, and he stays in his lane. And that's another thing that I learned. Stay in your lane, right? Learn how to delegate. If that's not your expertise, give it to somebody else's who is. It's building a team. Building a team. And knowing what each one of these team members' expertise is. That's what you can learn on Thursday, 2 days from now, in Denver, Colorado, at the Global Elevation Success Summit. Go to powerteamtickets.com. Powerteamtickets.com. How easy is that? Get your ticket and show up. And remember this little face? I'm going to be there. Come and say, "Hey, I watched the show." And that's why I'm here. Right? And oh my gosh, we've all been cramped up for so long. Here's your opportunity to go out and interact and have an impact on your business. Because I will guarantee you, you will walk away with something you never, ever in your wildest dreams believe could happen. It happens here. It happens at these events, right?
Well, and I think what's important too to know is that when you attend any event, that it's important that you go prepared. You go to network.
Yeah.
You dress. It's a very business casual, style event. But go and be prepared to network. Be prepared to meet new people. Be prepared to bring friends with you. And so that you can talk about what you have learned and will learn and what you maybe can teach someone else next to you. Of course, there'll be that social distancing, but you can still say, "Hey, I can help you with that."
Hey,
because
see this little thing?
Yeah, there's such a thing as teaching people how to network properly. Most people don't know how to network. When you're networking, it's important to know when someone asks you, "What is it that you do?" You don't start with how you started your business when you were in kindergarten, or when you met your wife 40 years ago, or your husband. You need to have that down to a science, and you need to be able to say, "These are the things I need next." Because if not, guess what? Someone else comes by and starts talking to that person, and you missed your chance. Imagine if you were speaking with Richard Branson. I'll just use him for example.
Right.
You start talking to Richard Branson. You have so much time. You got to tell him what it is you do, excite him, and have him want to know more about it. And how can he help you? And you always, always, always want to ask them, Richard Branson needs help just like anyone else in the world.
That's right. People
How
need
can
people.
I help you? How can I serve you, Richard? How can I serve you, John, Beverly? Don't go up to somebody and say, "This is what I need. I'm looking for this, and I need money. I need this. I need that." And and they say, well, that's really not what I do. Okay, and next. No, even if they can't help you, you want to know how can you serve them. Always ask that, because I don't know what faith anyone is. That's not my thing to be asking. I'm Christian. I believe that the more you give, the more you receive. I think as much as a biblical principle, that's just a human principle. Right. It just goes around. It's just like what goes around comes around. Karma, whatever you want to call it. But I know that the more you give, the more you receive. And if you go from a feeling of gratitude every day, and I think since COVID has happened, a lot of us, me in particular, I want to mention about some of the great speakers that we have,
Right.
But, Bill talks about waking up every morning and giving gratitude for a beautiful day, for the sky, for your family. His kids are healthy. I'd be for my family being healthy. But one of our speakers in particular, Michelle Gwynn, she has a manual about 12 success habits, and it teaches you how to put habits into place to take away bad things that you were doing. And when I say bad, excuses for why you weren't getting ahead in the morning. So instead, get up, meditate, read the Bible, don't get on the cell phone, don't get on the computer, don't do anything. Give yourself a little bit of time to wake up. Because how many times have you seen the commercial where a person's running out the door, kids in tow, one of those little snack bars in their mouth, the kids got the little, drink, they're trying to grab their backpacks, they're getting shoved into the car. And, it's crazy, because there wasn't any time to interact with it. The mom didn't get up enough to get herself centered, because she was probably too tired from the night before, because she didn't have a system in place. So I know Michelle speaks on that. Dr. Susan Trong will be speaking, and she's on 20/20 vision. She's an optometrist. She has several successful practices in Florida, but she talks about getting straight within yourself. Right. Because you want to have 20/20. We can all have 20. Your vision may be different than my vision, but if we get our mind vision, that can be 20/20, and we can be blind. But if it's in our mind, we can see. Right. And so she teaches on that. We have Daniel Meyer, who talks about getting virtual assistants, having that to help you to generate more business, because while you're asleep, they're doing the work for you. And he hires people that speaks English, that understands what's going on. So it's not like we're paying somebody $3 an hour just so you can get them cheap and they're, don't have a place to sleep and all that kind of stuff. That's not it. That's not his company. That's not his style. He personally knows his people. But he teaches you how he has been able to do things since he started having a virtual, assistant, and you can have one very inexpensively, per month. Right. You have Daniel Gomez speaking. He's going to speak on the power of motivation and overcoming obstacles that have gotten in your way. His wife had breast cancer. He quit his huge job where he was making tons and tons of money, and he said, what's important is being with my wife while she goes through breast cancer. All the others not important. And now, thank goodness, she's in remission.
Oh, that's the beautiful stories you like to hear, right?
Yeah. And then we have let's see, I'm just trying to think who Michelle Jewsbury, who's going to be speaking on domestic violence. She herself was a victim of domestic violence.
Right, yes.
And she started a foundation. This young lady is just a dynamite. She wrote a book because let's see, But I Love Him. And that was the reason she kept going back to him and became a best-selling author. Now she's a philanthropist, and now she's on all these shows. She's doing all this stuff with domestic violence. And so, you know, it only takes one person to make a change, and we often forget that we can be that one person.
That's right. You are so right.
You know, we think, wow, that would be a really good idea if someone would help that homeless person over there. We've got a lady in Chicago named Nellie Vasquez, and she is one of Bill's. Bill is on the board of directors for Safe Haven. Safe Haven is a foundation that helps the homeless and people coming off of addictions and everything. Her and her husband started the business about 20 years ago. They had certain boundaries that you had to follow. No, you couldn't be on drugs. You had to work. But they realized that more than a person needing a meal, they needed a place to live, a bed, a bath. They needed more than a meal. They needed 3 meals. And they needed money to make money to feel good. And if you've ever been in downtown Chicago, I think it's called, I always get this mixed up, Magnificent Mile, where all the beautiful shrubbery, those big pots. That's her landscaping company. And the people that her and her husband employ are from the shelter. They give them jobs till they can get out on their own. And they're the ones creating all that beauty. And then they go on and pay it forward. So these are just some of the pictures. That's just somebody that you could interact with at a Rainmaker or Platinum Speaker Camp or at one of our expos. But it's amazing because, see, her and her husband, they didn't wait for someone to do it. They did it, and they became the #1 city in the United States to have, they got funded, they got chosen as the #1 city in Chicago. I mean, the best foundation in Chicago. So other large cities like New York and LA, where there's a huge problem, are looking at their protocol, their their process to see how they may be able to duplicate it because it's been such a success. But those are people that do make differences. And back to those, some of our other speakers that we have Austin Walsh, our co-founder, who's going to be speaking on the internet and, marketing funnels, how you create marketing funnels. Who the heck doesn't need to know that right now? I mean, my goodness. But he's going to give you a process that's going to teach you how to do that right now from your home. And you can do it yourself, or we can assist you with it. There's all different types of programs you can get into. We always have it where it's a financial fit for everybody's budget. So money's never the problem for people. Laziness.
Oh my gosh, that is so true.
That's the problem.
And that's something else, too, that I really like about Bill. He's for the underdog, right? He really is. And if you're serious and you prove to him that you're serious, he will work with you to make it happen. Right? Oh,
for sure. And we had Jennifer Horspool, who also talks on public relations, and Angel Tussey on a media exposure.
Oh, she is
Angel
fabulous.
is just fabulous. She's just a shining, shining, shining star. And we have Angeline Weinmeier, who is a young lady that, she looks like a baby, but she's got 2 little babies herself, 2 little kids. And she came over from another country and had to live with her grandmother when she was very young. She didn't see her parents for years. And because they were poor and they were trying to get to America. And she became valedictorian of her class, graduated with honors, got an MBA, created a financial dynasty, brought her family over, and they're able to live with her, be with her children, be with her husband, and she's teaching other people how to create this financial wealth, And then we have Dr. Wendy Labatt, and she just had her book. I was just going to see if let me see what her book, name of her book is. just came out. It's on Amazon. I know it's financial. Oh gosh, of course, if I wasn't looking for it, I'd know it.
Yeah,
But,
that's the
but
whole thing, right?
it's on teaching people how to become financially successful and literate, and how to know how to invest, how to take care of your financial self. She herself is a cancer survivor, and what happened to her during her cancer, how she was able to come through that, not lose everything, monetize, and she really worked hard to get her doctorate degree. So she's got a fantastic story. Let's see.
And again, too, being at this live event,
Mm-hmm.
right? These speakers, if they have courses, if they have books, they're there. You can purchase them, right? And like walk away with a hard copy, right? There it is. Your hard copy of the book, and a book is something that's special, and that's what Angel teaches a lot about, right? Is your story, your book. It's not about the woe is thou thing. It's about, hey, I came up through the ranks. I made it. I didn't stay down here in the abyss and just gripe and complain and the poor woe is thou. It's like, you know what? And that's what this show is all about, being that best you that you can be. What can you do every single day? Because when I get up in the morning, I'm grateful for waking up breathing on the right side of the daisies, and it's like, what can I do today to make it an even better day?
Absolutely. And Angel, one of the things that's so great about Angel, if you have a book inside you and you want to write a book, she's going to show you how to do that. She has a boot camp for that, but she's going to give you some examples of how to get your book out there.
Right.
And Jennifer works on the PR side. They work in cooperation. They're not competing. They both do different things. So they're both great people to listen to and get the opportunity. We have another woman, Christine McKay. All these people have phenomenal stories. And when you hear about them, you're like, they did what and they're where? Christine was a single mom living in her car with 2 little babies, teenage mom. And she ended up getting an MBA from Harvard. She got a scholarship. She got accepted. She worked. She changed her whole life. She decided she was abused, and she decided enough is enough.
Right.
And then she said, I'm going to do this. And now she is a master negotiator and negotiates billions of dollars in contracts for people. And she's there, and she's going to teach you how to negotiate, how to be a better negotiator. You have to negotiate for everything you do. When you go to the grocery store,
you're exactly
when you're talking
right.
to your husband, when you're talking to your sisters,
your kids, it don't matter.
It's all negotiation. What time are we going to lunch? Let's negotiate it. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
So there's that. But let me see if I'm just trying to look on my phone because I don't have a list.
While you're looking for that, I want to share something else. Like what you're talking about. It's like when you're talking about all these great speakers. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be an interesting day. It starts at 9 o'clock and it goes, I think, until 5 or 6, right? And where else can you go and find speakers of this caliber for free? For free. All you got to put out is your commitment and your time and say, am I going to make another excuse? Or I'm going to get out there, pay attention, and not sitting here in the woe is thou. Oh, COVID destroyed my business. Oh, come on, right? I think Bill says something to the effect that disaster, or no, what is it? Something about strength. It continues. Strong people continue to exist and to live, right? And so it doesn't matter what the hard times are.
Right.
And, what are you going to do? What are you going to make out of it? Just the stories you just shared with these people. Living on the street, living in their car, saying, hey, enough is enough. When are you going to have your aha moment to say enough is enough? It's time for you to do what? See that little www.powerteamtickets.com? Put it up there. You're on the internet because you're watching this. Put it up there. Click on it. Go get your free ticket. For heaven's sakes, go get your free ticket. Get out
Absolutely.
and socialize. Get to downtown Denver. If you don't want to drive down, we have the light rail from all avenues of town. Just get there. Change your life.
Absolutely. You will change your life. And there's Mary Jo Hilliker who's going to talk about, breakthroughs, how to take charge of your life and have the best life you can have. And when you meet this lady, again, when you hear her story, she's as Bill likes to say, a recovering attorney, but she was one of the first female attorneys ever chosen for a certain position with some large law firm. And when you hear all the opportunities, but her personal story of tragedy of losing her brother, from the ex-wife, from his wife killing him, and how she overcame and how she showed forgiveness and has taught forgiveness. And I don't want to tell her story because I don't want to tell all these people's stories because, and anyway, when they tell them, it's so much more powerful when I'm telling them. But when you hear this, you're like, you did what? Right. My gosh, you were such a phenomenal person. And there's so many people like that in the world. And Mark Uzak, he's a hypnotist. He's spoken in front of 10,000 people, 20,000 people doing his shows. But again, hypnosis, you can hypnotize people or you can teach people how to just change their mindsets.
Exactly.
And he teaches you how to do that, how to change all those things that are going on in your mind. And he does it. He's so funny. And his wife, Yolanda, I mean,
he's a trip and a half.
She's crazy great. And he is lucky to have her and she's lucky to have him. And you'll learn so much from him. And I want to make sure that I haven't left anybody off because I know one person I haven't mentioned anything about before we, close up. But let's see.
We have Michael Silvers. We haven't mentioned him.
Michael Silvers. You know what? I'm thinking of Michael because Michael's the MC. I was going to bring him up. Before I brought up Bill, I just wanted to make sure that I got everyone that I just happened to be on. Albert Corey.
Oh, yes.
He is known as Taxman. Albert's going to give you grassroots on how to build your business with zero money, and he's made millions. He has so many tax clients in the Florida area. It's not even believable. And the guy did it with just grassroots marketing. He didn't have any big,
it was long before the days of internet. And
internet or anything. He didn't have signs, everything was word of mouth, passing out flyers, but how he did it, and it also was referral based. He knew how to take care of his customers. So that's Albert. I mentioned Angel, Daniel, Susan, Michelle, Christine, Mark, Daniel, Gomez. Okay, the other person was Michael Silvers. Michael Silvers is our MC. Michael Silvers has a phenomenal background. He's trained the top people in the country, in all different countries, on leadership. And he heads up our small business program for our small business associates. And anybody that's looking to make a change in their life and you want to make more income and you'd like to be part of masterminds, or you'd like to know more about perhaps being a small business associate, you want to talk to Michael Silvers. This guy has, as I said, trained with the best in the world.
And the numbers right there, how do you get a hold of him? It's text again, SBA to 26786. And, you guys have seen this number come up on several occasions, right? There's been 3 different text numbers coming up here. And what is that all about? That's part of that funnel. That's part of how you can get your information out there to the masses in a very cost-effective, powerful way, because you can do it through emails, you can do it through text messaging. Got your funnel built, you can actually turn that funnel into your website. That's what I use it for. It's just amazing, right?
Well, and the interesting thing with the internet is really knowing how to use it to your advantage. That's why we are so fortunate to have Austin, who his hand, that's his pulse. That's what's going on with him. And he knows, people spend all this money on these huge websites and doing all these different things. And what most people do when they're starting out, either because their cash is limited or their knowledge is limited of who to get in touch with, they piecemeal a lot of things. And then they throw it all together, and it's like a family that all of a sudden, from all different parents, got put together and said, okay, you're brothers and sisters and you got to love one another. Well, maybe we're not quite ready for that today, so maybe it doesn't quite, the puzzle, it doesn't fit that way. So what he does is he teaches you how to set up a system so that when people go on, you only have so much time before that person's clicking and going out.
That's exactly
You can't be asking them all this information, and I'm the best about doing that. Man, if I go on something and they start asking me my name, my address, my email, my phone number, I'm gone. I am not into all that, because I know the next thing they want is my credit card before they tell me what I'm going to get.
Right.
So you've got to be results, and that's what Austin's going to do, is teach you results, what you're going to get for your money and how you're going to make the internet work for you and how to use the Facebook to work for you. And I've been in this business for almost 37 years. And I would say I've not seen anyone like Austin. A little joke about Austin, or a cute story. Mark Victor Hansen, who's one of the co-authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul, he met Austin when Austin was in high school. And he tried to adopt Austin.
Oh, I know that story.
Mike wanted Austin to come live with him in Newport Beach because Austin was doing such a phenomenal job for him. And Austin worked for him first for free and gave him the results. And then he said, I'll do this 1 week or 2 weeks, whatever it was, for free. And then you pay me. And then it was like, I'm not just paying you. You're going to move in with me. And Bill's like, no, you're not adopting my son. But they're very, very close. And Austin got very top level clients, again, off that one relationship. But he's the one that told his dad he wanted to go to this event. So see, even the top leaders always have they're always bettering their minds.
Right.
I mean, Bill goes to events all the time. And that brings me to what I really want to talk about today is Bill Walsh and what he's going to speak on tomorrow. This is what's really going to change for everyone. He now is talking about the disruptive economy that we have going on. And we had more chaos with COVID. Now we have chaos with rioting and chaos with people that are trying to, financially find a way to make ends meet. So he's going to help you to see how to get yourself out of all this disruption, how you can rise above and you can find the answer. There's only one God, and I'm not trying to make Bill to be God because he's not God, that's for sure. But with that being said, he is a master visionary. He's a person that when something stops, he's going to have a plan to go next. We had to cancel almost 300 and something events or put them on hold. Hotels were putting them on hold and everything. 350. We had others we were doing. And within 13 days, we were live. We were all over the internet with a program every day, some days 8 hours a day. all different kind, and all the different people that in the seminar industry they started following him. What was he doing? How was he doing this? Because he said you can't sit still. And that's the thing about it. There's a way to get out of the craziness. There's a way to get out of the chaos. But you have to have a plan. You have to have someone that looks at things differently and that is also speaking at a level with other people that have more information than you may be able to get to. Right now, what we hear on the news, when we hear it, it's old news.
Oh yeah, it's
updated
way,
news.
It's way past. Yeah.
You know, that's why everybody with the COVID and everything, stop with it. Stop. I mean, I believe that there is COVID. Don't get me wrong. I feel terrible for the people that have, lost their lives. I lost one of my best friends from COVID. And so I know it's not a joke, and I take precautions, and I am 67, so I have to be more cautious. My sisters are older, and so I'm not trying to be acting as if it's not real, but what is real is the way you choose to adapt to it and your attitude towards it. And I'm not going to live in fear. I'm a smart person. I know how to take precautions. And I'm going to listen to someone that is younger than me, that can be out there, that is able to talk to other people, and I can hear more information. So that's what you really want to do. You want to get to the Denver Convention Center tomorrow. You want to get around all these different people that are coming from these different states. And now you're getting real facts, real information. You're talking to people that are living in that city, are living in that state. And you're going to get different ideas about, okay, so last 6 months ago, you were making $100,000 or you were making, $10,000, whatever it was. I don't care on that part. The money figure, I care what you were doing, but the money's not the important factor. The factor is that your lifestyle probably changed.
Right.
And so therefore you need a change. And so in order to change, you have to take action. One of my favorite quotes, which is my
Take
quote.
action. There's the .com right there.
Yeah, my
Click on
favorite quote, and it's a quote that's mine, but fear and excitement go hand in hand. And don't ever let fear keep you from your God-given purpose. Because when you go, I'm not saying if someone says go jump off the roof, you just go run and jump with them, That's a different thing. But if you may be doing something that's a little scary and you get butterflies, but if you can get past the butterflies and get to the excitement, then you start to change. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I want for everyone. And I think when I'm out and I'm talking to people, and I'm talking to people out at home, I'm saying, get out and go tomorrow. Get out and be with people.
It's Thursday.
Yourself.
It's Thursday, not tomorrow. It's Thursday.
I'm sorry. I meant Thursday. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I meant Thursday. Thank you for that correction. Thursday, the 24th.
The 24th.
But get out and go meet people and learn new things that can help you to do better right now and for the future. And that's what we're here for.
That's what it's done for me. Like I said, it never really hit me until today. All of these things that I learned over these years of following Bill, all of a sudden they were there like second nature, and you were just doing, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is where this information came from. This is where this basis started, right? Which is really good. And I do believe that you can go to powerteamtickets.com, and there's also a way to watch the live stream because it is streaming, right?
Right. It is going to be digital too. And what we were talking about during this time, some people have changed their businesses. Angel, who's going to be at the event on Thursday speaking, Angel Tussey, she has created, along with a lady named Tina Torres, a radio show. A virtual show.
Yeah, she does a show too. Exactly.
And it's been syndicated. And they just started it during COVID. If they'd started something that they thought was going to be a 1-week program, and now they're all these months later, they just had their award ceremony. So see, there's so many things that can happen, but you don't know they can happen till you
just do it. You know, it's either going to work or it's not. And if it doesn't, you find a way it didn't, you find a way that does.
And
right?
You know what? If you fail, so what? You're going to always learn from it. But if you don't do anything, you're not going to learn anything.
Stagnation creates rot, and rot creates what? Nothing.
Right. Yes.
Right. So.
And so I just want to make sure that it's that I say the right information for the date, September the 24th, from 9 to 6 a.m. It's at the downtown Denver Convention Center there at the Hyatt.
Right.
If you go to, let me see, I have this www.parkingpanda.com, www.parkingpanda.com. You can get parking for as little as $12.50 a day for the entire day.
I found a spot for $8 a day.
So I know about that, and also we're going to be giving away prizes during the day. The first 25 people that attend are going to get Starbucks cards. They'll be anywhere from $5 to $50. We'll be mixing them up, and you can bring friends with you. But there'll be other prizes during the day. Speakers will be giving away programs. You never know what you're going to get, but most importantly, you never know who you're going
to meet. That's just what I was saying, because I guarantee, if you don't walk away from here, at least with one person that's going to impact your life and continue to be in your life for an extended period of time, then somebody needs to teach you what to do at an event. It's all I can say. Because
you know how that works. But that's exactly, 37 years ago, I learned to do that. I went to an event that Mark Victor Hansen told me to go to. I didn't want to go. I almost didn't go. The fear almost overcame the excitement of wanting to go. I felt like it really might not be the event for me.
Right.
Maybe people would be, smarter, more MBAs, intellectuals, all that kind of stuff. Self-doubting myself. And funny thing is, I taught people on goal setting and motivation. So who knows? But anyway, I went, and the company that I went to the event, I ended up years later being the person that was running that company.
Wow.
And
now that's a story.
And had I not done that, I missed my flight, I got sick, I did everything not to go. So you don't have to do that to go to the event tomorrow, on Thursday. I keep wanting to say tomorrow.
All you got to do is go right there, powerteamtickets.com, get your tickets, get your little butt down there, and really pay attention. Make sure you've got your notebook, and
your business cards and your mask, and say, I heard that Texan Cheryl online. He's from Cowtown. Don't ever say Dallas with Fort Worth. It's Fort Worth, Dallas, or Dallas, Fort Worth. See, so I'm Fort Worth, Dallas. Mary Jo's in Dallas. I have great friends in Dallas. I love Dallas. So, but say I met that Texan, or I met you. I saw you online, because I feel like right now I'm talking to people just like I would in person. I'm real. And I want to meet people.
Remember that name up here, Beverly Zyman.
Yeah.
Let them know that this is where you heard it. And who knows? They might have something different. So they might have something special for you. I don't know. But mention my name. I will be there. Ask them, where am I? Right?
And if you have questions, Beverly said, I'm going to do this. Don't leave me a voicemail, because I do not return voicemails. It's like old news, okay? But I respond to text. So here you go. Watch my list.
Boy, here we go.
2. So I'm starting now. 2, 5, 6, 9, 7, 5, 0, 2, 7. 2, 5, 6, 9750527. I could have easily written that on a piece of paper if I'd have thought
No,
about
because
that.
you put it up here to went backwards, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, but anyway, please, take that time for yourself, and let's, Beverly, bravo to you for what you're doing and the lives you're changing. I know you did this special program this week, but you're doing this all the time. The virtual avatars, that's very exciting to hear about. That really is going to, I mean, when I was listening to you, I thought about children that are shy and teaching them how to come out of their shells. And
we're working with kids. We're working with every age.
And autism. I thought about,
Yes.
It's so many things come into my mind and tap on things, the feelings that I have a special place in my heart for. So you never know. You
really never know what's going to make that aha moment or that change in your life. But if you don't create action, nothing happens. You remain stagnant. All information, everything we spoke about here today, everything that you're going to hear tomorrow when you come to the event is nothing but information, and it's not worth a dime if you don't put it into action. Action, action, action. And if you want to be a part of the virtual reality world where we can take your business to the next level, and I'm actually writing a book on it, right? And that's what Angel says, right? Write a book. I'm going to write. And I've already got several out there. This one's going to be on virtual reality. And it's all about masterminding your business to success through virtual reality, rocking international stages, and the comfort of your home. And again, like you were saying, the mental health institution has been using this virtual reality platform to really help. It's helped autistic children. It's helped people with PTSDs, phobias, anxieties. I mean, just really off the charts. But you know what? You want to create a reality of immersion, of connectedness. You don't have to wear a mask in there because there's no social distancing, right? But it really is a way to get connected, to stay connected, and do it in a global relationship. And again, go to this link, DBI #4business and text it to 888-527-7146, and it will take you to where you can start getting on the platform and find out more about it. We will connect with you and take you on an adventure that will blow your mind, right? So how is your business going today? If your business isn't succeeding every day, then it's time for you to do what? To find a way to make it get better. Do you think Bill needs to be doing this? No. Why does he do it? Because he wants to make a difference in your life. Because it made a difference in his. Right? So go down, get off your butt, go get those tickets at powerteamtickets.com. That's powerteamtickets.com. And we will see you on Thursday, the 24th, in downtown Denver, Colorado. And look me up. There's my name. You've been looking at it for the last, about an hour and a half, right? So don't forget that name. Don't forget this space. Come and see me because I would really love to connect.
And I just want to add, when you go on Thursday to the event, again, it starts at 9 a.m. with a keynote speaker and with networking. You're going to be networking all day long.
Oh,
and we've got great things. Oh, I forgot. Peter Pritchard's going to be there, and he has created a board game called House Guest from Hell with his family, his mom, and his two sisters. This game is incredible.
That sounds like it'd be hilarious.
How to play it. It is so much fun. I bought it and gave it to a lot of people for Christmas. And right now, with what's going on, board games, people are wanting to play because they're stuck at home. Right. And so it really teaches you how to work, in not just team building, but relationship building. But what made me think about that is that Peter and his family are such a giving family. And one of the things that I encourage everyone to do when you get up Thursday morning and you get dressed and you're going to the event, And again, that's in the Centennial Ballroom on the 3rd floor in the convention center there at the Hyatt. You want to go. I want to just encourage you for this one event, go with the attitude of, what can I give? What can I give? What can I give? Who am I know I'm going there for someone. And I guarantee you, I promise you, you will get what you're there for. It will happen, and you will have an aha moment.
Yeah.
And you'll say, thank you, thank you, thank you. So Beverly, thank you. It was my pleasure to be on.
Oh, Cheryl, it was so much
on with
fun
everyone
to be here.
else. Amazing, amazing. And I just thank you, and I love you.
Hey, thank you for being here. I love you too. And I wish you were in Denver so we could connect again. I guess I have to go to Chicago and find you.
Well, I'll be in for Rainmaker, and I'll be in for our Win Global event in Vegas. I had a fall, and when I fell, I broke my arm, and so I've still been in therapy. So not just because of COVID, I've still got doctor's appointments. Right. So I'm about done. I'm doing pretty good lifting my arm. I had to have surgery. So, but I'm going to be back on the road again, as my buddy Willie Nelson says. On the road again.
I know that song. I sing it all the time because I'm constantly on the road.
I know.
And so, yeah.
Okay,
all right, my
well,
friend.
you.
Let's let these people go, get their tickets, and we'll see them on Thursday. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.